It's Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. Wanted to make a video today before I head out to a meeting. And I wanted to just talk about a couple different topics. One of them is this real estate melt up, this bubble we're seeing. Earlier today, I was at the gym and I was talking to an individual there who is a broker, has a brokerage a couple hours from my area, and he was just visiting, and he was telling me, and I'm not going to mention the area or his name, but he was telling me that a lot of the homes that he sells are in that $300,000 to $400,000 range, and he said people have just been coming in offering cash $100,000 above asking. And he says it's just been unbelievable, what has taken place over really the last year. And he says this whole real estate market is going to crash. And that's coming from a real estate broker. This whole market is going to crash. It cannot continue. And what could I say? Tell me something that I don't know. But even people in the business are beginning to realize, beginning to admit that something is wrong. This cannot last. But my question is, where are people getting all the cash? Where's all the money coming from? And everybody tells us, well, they're selling their house and they're moving out of the urban areas into the more rural areas. Okay, my question's always been, who's buying the houses? Oh yeah, you're moving out of Chicago, you're moving out of LA, you're moving out of New York. Well, who's moving in? Who's buying these homes in order for those people to move out to the rural areas? And there was a good article that I came across last night on wolfstreet.com. Everyone knows the housing market craziness can't last. Then the first dip turns into a big drop. And I think this is the answer. Home prices, and I'm going to paraphrase through this article, home prices have skyrocketed by double digits starting last summer, despite the loss of 10 million jobs, 2.5 million mortgages still in forbearance as mortgage rates dropped from historic low to historic low. People bought homes without putting their old home and their now vacant home on the market because it's profitable to hold it amid surging home prices and low interest rates. So a lot of these people who've been buying houses never even sold their old house. That old house, maybe it's a rental, but according to this article, a lot of these houses are sitting vacant. How about yanking cash out of that old house that you don't even live in via a refi? And what are people doing with this money? They're buying these other homes in cash. They're buying Bitcoin. They're buying stocks. They're buying RVs. They're piling up and putting some cash somewhere. So I think this really answers a lot of questions. We go back to February. Sales of single-family homes, condos, and co-ops dropped by 6.6% from January. Rising mortgage rates and affordability are the two big issues here. What's going to happen if rates go up, people continue to lose their jobs, and prices begin to come down? Millions of people who bought homes are going to need to sell that previous home, that vacant home that they used as an ATM. The ATM they used to buy stocks, Bitcoin, RVs, cars, the other home. I mean, just take a look at what is going on. Nothing is real, ladies and gentlemen. We have a booming housing market because we have artificially low rates, and we have people not selling their old homes. They're doing refis. They're pulling cash out and buying other homes, while these other homes, who knows how many homes it is, millions, are sitting vacant. And what's going to happen when this market corrects? when rates go up, prices come down, how are these people going to get out? They're not going to be sitting on just one mortgage. They're going to be sitting on two. When this bubble bursts, home prices aren't going to come down slowly. They're going to come falling down faster than a rock. And these people are not going to be able to unload these ATMs that they thought were going to continue to surge and skyrocket in price. Reality's coming, ladies and gentlemen. So just ponder that for a little bit. This housing market and how fake and how manipulated it really is. It is so fake. And what people are doing, they are taking such a risk, jeopardizing their futures. These people are going to be in big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. They really are. I hope, if you're one of these people, I hope that you've already sold that house. Because when this bubble bursts, it is going to be too late. Everybody is going to be running for the exits. Everybody's going to be putting their homes up on the market. Prices will be coming down so fast. The ATM is going to crash on top of these people. It will be game over, lights out. Do not be one of these people. People are taking extraordinary risk right now, and they're using wealth. They're using their home as wealth, using it as an ATM to buy another ATM. It's unbelievable what people are doing. And I hate to say this, but people are really going to get what they deserve. Article today by Michael Snyder. I really like Michael Snyder. It's titled, "Flaunting Wealth. Are We About to Reach America's Let Them Eat Cake Moment?" Again, by Michael Snyder. In the social media era, public displays of wealth have become a way to show the world you are somebody. It's not about what kind of person you are, what kind of deeds you do. It's all about what you have, how much wealth you have, what kind of car you drive, what's your zip code, what kind of shoes you wear. People idolize the Elon Musk, the Bill Gates, and people like that. We live in an environment in which people feel the need to flaunt wealth. And while people, we've all seen this. Go on Facebook today, you're going to see it. Everybody wants to be somebody. A lot of just fakery out there. And most of these people trying to look wealthy are not wealthy. They are just faking wealth. They are going broke trying to look rich. And it's really a sad time in America where everybody measures people by their wealth. And unfortunately, so many people are being duped and fooled because most of the people on social media who portray themselves to be wealthy and having something have nothing. They're broke. They don't have anything. It's just so easy. You see people in LA renting these little studios to look like they're sitting in a private jet. They said that the studio is busy 7 days a week, literally 24 hours a day of people going in and taking pictures of themselves looking like they're in a private jet. I mean, everything today is such an illusion. It's so hard to really find the truth. Because it's just so easy to fool everybody, and this need to be accepted because you drive a certain car, have a certain zip code, wear a certain type of shoes. If that's what we measure people's worth by what they wear and the kind of car they drive and where they live, we are really lost. We morally have fallen. People have been going broke just to look rich on social media, just to impress people on social media. People they don't even know. How many people are going out leasing a car because of that emblem, just to impress people they don't even know? Maybe to impress family members, paying $1,000 a month so they can go on social media and impress people they don't know, don't like. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. This is the worst possible time to be doing this. If you have any type of income, you need to be using it to prepare for the worst economic collapse in world history. 12 million people are in danger of eviction including their family members, which is about 44 to 48 million people. And yet we've got celebrities, and we have real wealthy people. We have wealthy celebrities that go out on social media and show us their cars, their new wrap, their new wheels, their new house, their $500 steak dinner, their $5,000 bottle of wine, their $200 cigars, their $500 Nikes. Wow, 12 million families are in danger of being evicted. 70 million people since last March to this March have filed for unemployment. 8 million more Americans have fallen into poverty since the crisis. And we have people trying to prove to us how much money they have and why they're better than everybody. And again, there are people out there with very serious wealth, and they love to flaunt it. And it's so narcissistic and egotistical. And, you know, this is not the time to be doing stuff like that. People are really, really hurting. People posting their Lamborghinis and their Ferraris, 200, 300, 500 million dollar cars. And look, if you can afford it, and look, I love these car channels. I love watching people racing and tuning and the cars and coffees. And look, that's people who really enjoy the car life, and that's cool. And if you have money, God bless you, that's awesome. If you can afford these things, great. But I think people better be very, very careful how they are flaunting their wealth. This is not the time to be doing it. You know, if you want to go to the cars and coffee and you're a car guy, more power to you. I love it. I'm a big fan. But there are people out there just going, oh, look, I just bought a car today. There's somebody out there, a couple people, that just take you to dealerships and show you how many cars they can buy. I need a car for every day of the week. Oh, I'm buying this car. I'm buying that car. Oh, look what I just bought. Look how much money I have. See, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. Most people, they just wish they could be me. They just dream they could do what I do. And that is just so narcissistic. It's really not an attractive trait whatsoever. I respect people who've worked hard and acquired wealth and have nice things. I think that that's the American dream. Capitalism, the American dream, working hard, buying a nice house, buying a nice car. But, you know, these people are even bragging, buying these cars with zero money down. Oh, I went to Mercedes, I went to Porsche, zero down. So give me the same deal so I can buy this car today. And, you know, I guess we're all supposed to be impressed because somebody has a car for every day of the week. But there are people who get very impressed by that. And this society today is enamored, just zombified by these people that have wealth or pretend to have wealth. And we have a society today that's all they want is to just have a car and to have the shoes and to have the clothes, and they don't care how they get it. And they don't care how many years of financing they're going to pay and whatever interest rate they're going to pay. They'll go broke doing it. They don't care because they want to be a part of the club. And it's really, really hurting a lot of people because now, you know, we have people out there that are working paycheck to paycheck. 80% of Americans working paycheck to paycheck just to keep up with the bills. And they watch this stuff. And a lot of these people try to go out and do the same thing. And so anybody now can go out and lease a BMW or Mercedes. If you got, you know, 800 or 1,000 a month, you can get a really nice car. But these are people that are making 40 grand a year leasing a car for $1,000 a month. It's unbelievable. But again, we're at a time where millions of Americans are waiting hours in line at food banks. Food banks we've seen 6-7 miles long in multiple states. 80% of this country working paycheck to paycheck. That was in 2019. Who knows what that number is today? Because so many of these people don't even have a paycheck today. So many of them just waiting for a government subsidy, waiting for an unemployment check. And we're at a time where Americans have never been under so much financial stress. Yet people are going to show us their $1,400 handbags. So while millions are being left behind, the opportunity inequality, the wealth inequality we're seeing in America, and people just don't have jobs. And that brings me to the churches. The churches, and look, you may belong to a fantastic church, so this is not a knock on all churches, but the majority of churches in America have checked out, and they have misled millions of people, and they will be held accountable. The good Lord upstairs will hold them accountable, and they will have their day. But the church today is just as bad as these people on social media, sorry to say. And instead of preparing Americans spiritually, instead of helping to prepare them financially for what is coming, I mean, look, if I can connect the dots and see what's coming, obviously a pastor, somebody in the church can do the same. They've got to be aware of what's happening in their community as far as unemployment, homelessness, people being food deprived, the food shortages. Churches are pretty connected on what's happening socially, so they should see and know what's going on, and they should be preparing their congregations for this. And they're not helping anybody either. What are they doing? Well, let's take a look at just a few people that popped up. Seattle pastor Judah Smith. He was photographed wearing a $3,600 Gucci jacket. Dallas pastor T.D. Jake photographed wearing a $1,250 Louis Vuitton fanny pack. Miami pastor Guillermo Meldano was wearing a $2,500 designer crocodile belt. And how many of these pastors today are flying around in private jets to their multiple mansions? A real travesty, ladies and gentlemen, of what's happening here in America. The church, just as bad as these people on social media, egotistical, narcissistic, absolutely have checked out and have done such a disservice to their community, to the real church, such a disservice, just such a disservice to God. Terrible. But they will be held accountable. They will pay the price. So before I wrap up this video today, I want to leave you with this. There is no doubt that America is now in a financial collapse. And this financial collapse is going to get much worse, ladies and gentlemen. And while it is happening, there are still people out there that cannot admit it and will not admit it. And these are the same people who cannot downsize from the 5 or 6 bedroom home, even though there's only 2 people living in it, because they need to impress people. The same people who cannot save any cash because all the cash coming in goes out to pay bills because they've got to impress people on social media. They got to impress family members and friends and people they like and don't like that they have a 5-bedroom house, even though only 2 people live in it. But they're going broke trying to look rich. They're going broke trying to impress you and I. And these people are not going to be able to adapt to what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. And that's really, what this video is about, is being able to adapt. We've got to be able to adapt. If you're not preparing today for what is going to happen tomorrow, you're not going to be able to adapt. If you don't have the food, the water, the tangible, hard tangible assets, the cash, a skill set. If you don't know how to do something, you need to be your own asset. If you're not using your time wisely, if you're just wasting time, you're not going to be able to adapt to what's coming. I had to go to the DMV last week, and I had one of these real winners, sitting behind the computer, behind the glass window. These people, and I'm not, frowning upon everybody that works at the DMV. I'm sure there's some really good people there, but for the most part, and I know, every time you go to the DMV, what you're dealing with, these people hate their jobs, they hate being there, they hate you, and even though we pay these people's salaries, they treat you like they just have a displeasure for you. And even though, again, we're paying their salaries, they have the attitude of a rock. And I think about these people and I go, when this bottom falls out, when this thing really free falls into collapse, what are these people going to do? 10 hours a day sitting behind a glass window, behind a computer, what are these people going to do? All they can do is frown and just, treat you like, they just hate you. And I feel sorry for those people, because They have no idea. These are the same people that just, I'm speaking Latin right now to these people. They have no idea. They're going to be financial victims. And again, how does somebody somebody that literally, is like just the personality of a rock sitting behind the window typing like a zombie. What are these people going to do? And again, I'm not criticizing everybody at the DMV. I'm sure there's some very good people there, but my goodness, these agencies, they really need to get their act together. But again, people want to front like they've made it, and the only thing that they've made is a bad choice. So make sure that you have a skill, that you know how to do something. It's going to be very, very important. Make sure that you continue with your preparations. People get complacent. Now the weather's getting good. The stimulus checks are hitting. People are back out shopping. Everybody's telling me, all my friends told me yesterday, all the stores are busy. People are just buying up all this garbage, faster than they can spend it. It's amazing. If I go back to Dutch Brothers, there's probably going to be 90 cars in the line for a cup of coffee because everybody's getting their stimulus check. It's unbelievable how people behave. But these are the masses, and I guarantee you, they're going to lose. You don't want to lose. You want to prosper during this collapse. This is going to be the biggest wealth transfer in world history. And if you have a strategy, if you have prepared, you're going to prosper, and many of you are going to become wealthy. Don't be one of these people making $45,000 a year with $103,000 of student loan debt and then goes out and leases a Mercedes for $700 a month. Those people will lose. They're losing right now, and they're guaranteed to lose. If you make $45,000 a year, and this is just my opinion, if you make $45,000 a year, live like you make $25,000 or $30,000 a year. Live below your means. Live in maybe a little smaller apartment or condo or house. And if you do that, you're going to be able to save more money, pay more debt down, be able to buy some hard tangible assets, have a cash reserve. And when this bottom falls out of this collapse, and we're collapsing right now, ladies and gentlemen, the sales we're going to see in America on land, and cars, houses, and you name it, it's going to be unimaginable. You won't believe it. Things are going to be on sale. And if you've been preparing, I truly believe you're going to capitalize and you're going to win in this wealth transfer. Think like a central bank. Think like the 1%. That's what you have to do now to survive and to win. God bless you all. Look forward to talking to all of you soon. God bless.